Book facts number 69. Deep in the jungle of doom. Not ass. This is 100% a book facts video. Hello everybody, today we're going to be reviewing Deep in the Jungle of Doom. And to give you some backstory, I should have done this review months ago. I read this book like mid-July or late June, sometime in that era. So it's been a little bit since I read this, so I do remember it very vividly. Either way, we're now doing it as our comeback for book reviews. Yep, Deep in the Jungle of Doom. Pretty okay one, if I'm being honest. About average. So, like my and yeah, we're just gonna get straight into it. So, let's read the description. It's a pretty long description. You're headed to You're headed to a South American jungle with your nature study class. Everything seems pretty cool at first, but then you start to get bored. Wow. Such a filling book. The end. So that's gonna be it. Where's the beach? Where's the excitement? So you and your friend decide to do a little exploring on your own. That's when you see something so freaky, all you want to do is get out of there. If you run screaming down one trail, you end up at a waterfall with a creepy underground cave. If you choose the other trail, you eat some fruit that turns you into a crazy-looking sea monster. Nah, couldn't be. Anyways, will you get back to normal before things start to get really fishy? I don't know. I don't really think this is what we're gonna turn into, but you never know. I might be stupid. The choice is yours in this Goosebumps adventure that's packed with over 20 super spooky endings. Yeah, like I usually do. No spoilers until we get to, the upsides and downsides and, of course, rating. This book was pretty good. There's nothing special about it from any other GYG book. There were some plot lines I enjoyed more than others, but I do want to point out something I thought was really cool. 2 monsters in this book were in the Goosebumps movie. I'm talking 2, not 1. 2 popped out of this bitch. So, yeah, this book is about average. It's pretty good, like most GYG books are. Anyways, yeah, it was a pretty good book. Let's get into what I liked and disliked about it. Starting off the upsides, as always, I've got to say, what a fun time this was. I remember enjoying this one very much. This was during my giant binging of Drinking with Goosebumps, which is a phenomenal YouTube series that you should definitely check out, by the way, if you're old enough or if you can handle people getting literally drunk on camera. Talk about Goosebumps. This book was very, very fun. I read it in a 6-hour span, like I said, over the course of a night, I believe. It was nearly an all-nighter. I stayed up to 3 a.m., then I, hit the road, went to bed. And yeah, it was a very, very fun time. I had lots of fun with this book since it was very good. It was very good. Pretty good, very good, same thing. Yeah, very enjoyable. Pretty average, though. Another thing I really liked was the setting. It's a jungle. I like jungle books, okay? It's no surprise that I like jungle books. I really like the Shark and Head book. It's not an all-time favorite. It's a 9 out of 10, which is surprising, especially upon reread. I reread it not too long ago. Yeah, pretty high up there, though. This is another jungle book, and even loosely based jungle books like the Tale Tiki Island, which I just read like a week ago. I really like those types of books. So the jungle setting, especially this book, was fantastic. I really like that. With all the creepy and weird things going on with Crombie in one of the caves, a weird giant creature, like a king dude living in a cave. There's always a fucking king motherfucker in these types of books anyways, but yeah. And there was also there's a weird stone creature, which I also thought was really cool. You can also turn into this. You fight a dragon, you run into some Vikings, I think, I'm not sure. Something, like the female version of a witch doctor. Speaking of witch doctors, you encounter a group of them very, very vividly, very shortly. It doesn't last long. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on in this book, and there's so much fun stuff. You can even die from a fucking anthill. That's how ridiculous this book gets. Entertaining plot lines, characters, and whatnot, all because of this awesome setting of the jungle where you can really go wild instead of being limited to just a simple setting. Simple setting examples would be like basically your average Slappy book, the Wicked Wax Museum, where you never really leave the place or you just don't exit or go anywhere. This book, you go everywhere. It's pretty crazy. Another thing I have to give it props about is there's some cool characters. You have a best friend in this book. You also have another guy who shows up during this plot line where we turn into this bitch. And yeah, he's a little nerdy dude. I don't know. He knows everything of the jungle. Pretty decent characters overall. Yeah, I really enjoyed him. It's got the average writing, average everything for a GYG book. The main things obviously to liked were the setting, the characters, and of course the endings that you could get. They were fantastic, and all the storylines that you could go through, they were pretty good. Some of them were just fantastic. I gotta say, like, I gotta keep repeating it. Crombie was good. The Witch Doctors was pretty cool. Anything involving the cave was awesome. So yeah, I really liked this book all around. There are some weak endings to say. I think there are some endings that are either a little too rushed or like, oh man, it sucks that it ended here. And even with other endings that you can get, like, if you didn't choose that ending, it's not very satisfying with some endings that you can get that's ending a storyline. There are a few good endings, of course. I mean, quite a few, actually. At least 20 of the endings in this book were good. And as you guys don't maybe know, unless you've actually read one of these UIG books all the way through, there are actually more than 20 endings. Yes, I know, crazy. Sometimes they can be like nearly 30 endings, so I think this one had like 27. There's also some very weak characters. I don't know what the hell they were, but they were like female witch doctors who helped you once you got captured in a net. And, helped you if you actually chose the right path, of course. Another path will make them, go against you. They were underused, first of all. Like, it's just... There was some mess stuff in this book, characters and endings-wise. But that's about it. They didn't really do much of the story, of course. This is a choose-your-own-adventure book. You don't actually have to go for that. But the turns, since I had to read through the entire thing to do an actually good review, yeah, there were some pretty nifty ones in there, not nifty, but bad ones. This book was fairly enjoyable, but it wasn't anything, like, absolutely phenomenal. There was lots of nice stuff in this book. There were also some few things I didn't really enjoy, specifically some endings. As per usual, there's going to be some of those in the UIG books. And, yeah, I'm going to give this book a 6.5 out of 10, maybe a 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10, why not? This book really didn't have many unique things about it, but there was definitely a great setting, which gave it, of course, more possibilities for stuff to happen. When you have a setting like a jungle, literally anything can happen in these CYG books. But when you have a setting like Wicked Wax Museum, sure, it can get wild, but it's limited to just the Wicked Wax Museum. And basically anything involving the book is wax, which is why I didn't like that one. You can watch my review for it. Pretty wild story, lots of great endings, just some really bad ones here and there, or just meh ones that really didn't stick out to me. Some also very meh or underused characters. Crombie was a little underused, forgot to mention that. So, yeah. Overall, though, the book is pretty damn good. And that's going to do it for this book review. I hope you guys enjoyed. I want to hear what y'all think about this book below. I know Michael doesn't like this one. I watched his review for it right after I finished it. And then I went to bed, of course. It was like 3 a.m., okay? Like 5 months ago. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.